Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. I'm glad that you're all here to join me. I'm super excited to share with you what has been keeping me busy for the last several weeks, among other things. But yeah, this has been a fun project. So right off the bat, I'm sure you can know. Well, you'll see this one's different from the rest. So my mom found this photo album for me. This is really old. It's from 1901, actually, or around that time. I don't know exactly when, but it was unused. Nobody ever used it. So I've kind of had this kind of sitting in my craft room and trying to think of what I wanted to do with it. And finally, I found a paper pad that just was perfect for it. So let me kind of show you what I did. I'm going to wait on, well, maybe what should I do? I'm going to start with this, and then I will go into the rest of these for you. So basically what I have here is, these are all going to be available separately in my Etsy shop, but I made them in a way so that they could be used by themselves, or if you wanted to pair one or two together, like this. Okay, so these two have 3 signatures each. This one has 1 signature, and this one is a little bit different from the others. The papers in these 3 are all very much similar to each other, not exactly the same. The papers in this one are similar, but there's no scrapbooking paper in here. So this one is very bare bones, and you'll see that as I get into it. So I'll start with the album, and then I'll go into these. How does that sound? Yes. Okay. So for this, we have and for all of them, they all have a sari silk closure. It's a little bit difficult to see the color. The color is a little bit different. It's not white. It's not off-white. It's not gray, kind of gray. It's just kind of a different color. It's old and antique-y, and this one actually has 2 different colors. This one's more of a taupe, and then I guess you could call this a really, really pale gray. But it's just knotted onto the existing closure that was on this album. So if you really didn't want to keep it, you can remove it fairly easily. So this was the original closure, and as you can see here, something broke off at some point. So all I did was knot this onto here, and then you're able to wrap it around and turn it into a closure there. So, and then I don't know if you noticed here, but this was all original to the book. All the edges have this gold gilded edge to it. So really, really gorgeous and aged. So here's the front. So it says album here, and then this was gold, probably a bright gold, similar to this at one point, but no longer quite as bright. And then the outside, the spine is, this is the original fabric. So this is a pink rose velvet, and I did reinforce this, kind of added some more glue. And then the back is this white. So it's like a book cover, but not 100% exactly like a regular book cover like we would know today. So look at this. So it says, "From Mother and Father, Christmas 1901, period." I love that. And then over here, it's kind of hard to make out, but it says something there, me. And I didn't do anything to this. I didn't do anything to the pages. This is gorgeous. Still gold. The only thing I did do was add a little bit of gold in the spine area here. I don't know if you can really pick it up here, but you'll see it more on some of these other pages. So, this is somewhat fragile. It's not 100% precious, but these are the original pages from the album, and as you'll see, there are some that have a little bit of mending that need to be done. And here's why I didn't fix that, because I realized that if you wanted to put some pictures in here, which I'm sure you do, or whatever it is that you'd want to put in here, you're probably going to re-tear it by trying to get it in there. So I thought, whoever ended up with this, get your pictures in there, and then you can add some nice washi tape or something to kind of embellish this a little bit and cover that up. So that's the reason behind why I didn't necessarily fix all of these. So here's the other side, and this one is ripped as well. But I didn't do anything to these pages. This one is a little bit, it's almost ripped as well. So those first pages need a little bit of TLC. And then here's what I did. I added in here some signatures of coffee dyed papers that you can add pictures to. You can do some writing about the pictures you add to the rest of the book. You know, whatever you want. These are all just blank pages, no tuck spots in here. And then here you can see there's some of this gold that I added to this one. So let me go through this. And so what I did was every two of these pages I added another signature of paper. So this is the second signature of papers. There is, I guess I lied, there is one little tuck spot. I added this coffee dyed note card to it. And then this is a handmade tag that I put together. Just a little bit of collaging there, and then some dyed paper that you can journal, and a little date stamp there. So that's the only embellishment really that I've done in this particular book. So the rest is blank papers. Hopefully I'm in frame here. Sorry. Two more pages. Love this. This is antiquing at its best, guys. Age spots. So, and then this is the third and final signature of papers that I added. This one folds out. Folds out. And then this last page was a little bit different from the rest, where you can put two smaller ones. And then this is another one that was ripped here. So the rest of them I didn't see were ripped anywhere else besides the ones that I pointed out to you. So there is this lovely little photo album. Now let me get into the other ones. So I'll start with the one that's got one signature. And as you can see, I've got the same sari silk ribbon closure here. And then I've done some collaging of material, fabric, some trims, and then some lace that you'll be seeing throughout the inside of the book. Lots of fun pulls and tabs and just fun things sticking out. It's just, I want to get into it. I want to get in there and start playing and flipping through. So again, it just wraps around, then you can tie a bow. And oh, I didn't mention, this is a fabric cover. Inside all of these, I have a file folder, a thick file folder. So it is a little bit sturdy, but it's also a little bit bendy. I don't, you know. That's how I describe things, you guys. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Okay, so throughout here, you're going to see a lot of coffee dyed papers, a lot of collaging, and I really spent some time just trying to make things a little bit extra special. A lot of handmade journaling tags and stuff. So we got some Tim Holtz flower here, and then I just sewed on a sweet little fabric bird, and then we got 2 layers of tuck spots here. So here's a Tim Holtz journaling card, and then this came with the paper pad that I mentioned that I used throughout these, which is coffee dyed. And then here's some more ephemera. This is, I believe, 7 Gypsies. Okay, so, and then, like I said, all the paper in here is going to be coffee dyed. This is a little transparency thing. Basically, you would put a picture behind this. I think it's supposed to go horizontal, actually. And then glue it down, and kind of adds a little bit of extra decoration around your picture. It's kind of a cool little thing. So we got some journaling cards. It's coffee dyed on the back, or the whole thing is, I guess. So kind of the theme around these books is, I was thinking, you know, it's a family photo album type thing. So I wanted to use a lot of ephemera that was geared around family, writing about your family. Maybe this could be a family tree. Oh, another thing you'll see is I used a lot of the sewing pattern material that I've collaged on pages and just in different ways throughout the book. So I had an awful lot of fun making these, you guys. And it took me a little bit longer than usual, but that's because I was really thinking about what would be fun to do in these books. So some antique music paper, and then we've got a tuck spot here with a Tim Holtz flower, and then here is a handmade tag using some of the paper from the collection, and then this is a Tim Holtz old photograph, and just some collaging and whatnot. Under there's a lot of dictionary pages throughout as well. So here's an old notebook paper. I may not pull all of these out. Just know that everything in here is coffee dyed, so you'll have a lot of really awesome staining. So look for blessings everywhere, just to save time. And some more collaging here with the sewing pattern paper, and again some more sewing, some more collaging. And then there's the back. So this is a really great one for a bigger picture and a lot of writing room. This is vintage wallpaper. And then on the back of that, I've got some more of that sewing paper, and then I've created a tuck spot here. And then we have a handmade journaling card with a tuck spot, obviously, as you can see, with a really cool Tim Holtz family album. I don't know what that collection is called, but family picture in the back. Oh, how did I have this like that, I think. Okay. And then I also did some stamping throughout. So some of it's going to be script, some of it is some music. A lot of vintage papers and all that good stuff. So plant your roots. House plus love is home. So another thing I kind of like about this paper pad is, as you can see with this bigger one, it's kind of a modern feel, but the way that I've done it is I feel like it's a mixture of old and new, and I think it just makes it so much more unique and different than just everything is vintage, you know. So This is just some lined paper that I've sewn to the back of this wallpaper. And then another Tim Holtz piece of ephemera there. Some more stamping. This one's a little booklet. Well, piece of paper that I folded and made into look like a book. And then another one of those little cards. It says "Be Grateful." Here's another collaged tuck spot area. So this is tacked on with some fabric washi. Here, let me pull it up. This is some fabric washi, and you'll find that throughout, on top of a fabric tag that I've sewn down. And then this is just, you can flip this up or move it or take it off of there if you don't want it there and put something else there. Little tag. And then some more little tags here that I put together. Here's another one of those fabric tags. And in the back. And then this is just another tag here. Oops. It says "We are family" and thank you. And this calico print, this actually is vintage. It's from the 80s, you guys. It's from when I was a kid. So, yes, I am that old. It's a nice little tag that I put together. And then another Tim Holtz lady. How did I have this like that? And then another collage. And then I just sewed this fabric on the side to make a full tab along the whole side. And here on the back page, we got a bunch of different little tuck spots. So got a little one here for this "thank you." And in this one, I've got a little booklet and another one of those Tim Holtz photographs. And here's the booklet, upside down. So just some of the random pages that were left over that would be fun to write in, add some more pictures, just do whatever you want to do there. And in this one we have another little set of tags. So it's just sewn. It's knotted together, and then this is a little journaling spot on top of some more of that paper pad paper, scrapbook paper, and another homemade journaling card with some collaging and some sewing. And then on the bottom of here, I'll bring this closer, did a little bit of collage there. So here's that book, and let me show you the back. So I don't know if you could see that very well before, but there's that one. So that's just one signature. Now these next two have 3 signatures each, and again the outside is going to be collaging of the fabrics and laces, but I did a little bit of extra specialness to these, so I've added buttons throughout. These are sewn on, and did some collaging here with some dictionary page, a little bit of trim, and then this is a little tuck spot where you can use something else if you want. Thought this would be nice if you're going to give it as a gift. You can put to who it's from, to who it's from, for whom it's to. Oh my gosh, you guys, I need to take a nap. I'm tired. Okay, so those go in there, and then the back, I got a couple more little buttons that are sewn on, and some more of the laces and stuff. So here we go into this one. And again, these are, like I said, these are all kind of a soft cover. So on the next two, on the front cover, I have a little book plate. Both of them have a double pocket and some journaling cards. Again, using that same paper pad and some more of the Tim Holtz vintage photographs, and handmade journaling cards here. So lots of sewing and lots of creativity going on here. So here's another collaged journaling card that goes into the tuck spot, and then here's some of this fabric washi. Sometimes it is glued down, sometimes it's also sewn down, but it's on there, so not going anywhere. And again, some more vintage wallpaper, and some more buttons here. Another handmade tuck spot, and this one's sweet. I couldn't not do this. I mean, oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so it just reminds me of my grandma and grandpa. I don't know why, but there's that. And on the back side, some more collaging here. So we got a little bit of lace, we got a butterfly, some journaling spot, a little lace up there, and then some more of this fabric washi. And some more of the Tim Holtz little girls. Now, I put these two in here because this particular piece of paper is actually from 1936, because this is actually written in pencil. This is from a vintage book that I've got. It was tucked in. I have some vintage school books, and it was tucked into the book. So some little girl or boy, I don't know, I guess Betty Jane. So Betty Jane was my schoolmate. She left this in February 1936. I am in the 6th grade. My teacher is Miss Evans. So I don't know if a little girl or a boy, I'm assuming it's probably a little girl, drew this sweet little lamb and added this sweet little message. It was hard for me to give it up, but I thought this is the perfect place for it. And I don't know, these two little girls just made me think, okay, one of them drew it and one of them's the classmate, right? So had to put those two there together. Really sweet. Okay, so keep going. We've got some more of the stamping, and then here's another little collage there on some ledger paper. It says gather. And as you can see, there's a lot of places for writing and adding your mementos throughout all of these books. I love this. That turned out really cool. Trees, always make me think of family tree. So here's another card, and then one that I put together. Just some collaging with different pieces of ephemera there. And then some more collaging here. So we got some stamping, a little butterfly, some fabric, and then a little tag that says happy day. And here's number 2 signature. Another little booklet made out of the scraps. Really sweet. So some vintage music papers and dictionary, and then the extra another handmade journaling tag. And you'll notice throughout this book and the next one, there are these numbers too. They don't really signify anything in particular to me. I just think they're cool. And I wanted to add them because, I thought that they added something to it. So this is a vintage, from a vintage book. I think the book is from the 50s, but I remember I actually had that book, not the one that I tore up, but I actually had that book growing up, and I remember loving it and reading it, and specifically remember this particular story from it as being one of my favorites, The House that Jack Built. So added some pages from that to this. House plus love is home. Some more collaging here with some Tim Holtz ephemera, and then it says, under cover of the rain, she dreamed beautiful dreams in the garden. Love at Home. Another piano book that I learned from when I was a kid. Another one that's not from my personal, not the one that I use personally, but I happened to across another one of them and had to include that. You know, I'm including things that I remember from my childhood for you guys too. I'm, you know, I guess maybe hoping somebody has some of the same memories or can appreciate them, I suppose. So here we have another envelope, and I did some collaging there with the paper. And then here's a ticket that's been coffee dyed that's inside the paper that is called Sewing. You guys, my brain is gone. I can't remember. Sewing pattern paper. Thank you. There it is. Alright. And then some more collaging here with a button and a little ticket. And some trim. And then on the other side, we got some more of the Tim Holtz paper, ephemera, and the other side of that book page, and one more little booklet here. We got some staff paper in there. That's a vintage staff paper. And then the third signature. There is a lot of stuff in here, you guys. Another handmade tag. It's a little book plate there. And another little coffee dyed tag. But if you don't want to keep those in here, they're perfect for adding to a gift of some kind. And then on the flap, you got some more of that pattern paper, and then I did a book plate on top. And then this is a metal rose that is stitched onto the tuck spot there. So this is a vintage, it's from a very antique book about manners. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's basically a book about how you should behave and act. Being a good citizen, essentially. Thought it was just an interesting book to use in junk journals and whatnot. So here's another wallpaper, some more collaging here that is turned into a tuck spot, and then here's another handmade journaling card. Did a bunch of sewing, and there's the back. And then some more of the house that Jack built. The dog. I love that dog. I had to make sure he stayed in there. The other side of that. So this one's talking about behavior while you're eating. And we got two little journaling cards here. And then both of them, they're coffee dyed. And then another handmade journaling card here. Some sewing. Got a button at the top of this page. And then we got another little secret writing spot there for you with some of this vintage fabric. Got some fun staining from the coffee dyeing and stuff. Oops, sorry about that. Thank you. And we're about done. So Here's some more sewing along this one. And then another tuck spot here with some, I want to say this is 7 Gypsies and this is Tim Holtz, and then some more of that pattern paper. Like I said, it's kind of throughout. And then just did another little collage there. Who is this? I don't remember who this is. It'll come to me after I'm done filming. Yes, that's the way it goes. So some more of that wallpaper, and then that book page, and then here we go at the end with the Tim Holtz birds, and then some more Tim Holtz people. The backs of these are so cool. And then one more collage journaling card here. And there's the back. And then we have the last page with a little, says collect moments, not things. And then I didn't put anything in here, but there's a tuck spot here with some buttons and stuff collaged on top of that fabric washi. So that is this book. And now for the third and final book. Very much the same. Some more of that sari silk as the closure. They're really pretty. Makes a really pretty bow. And as you can see, there's just, if you like the grungy look, then these are for you, because this is really tattered and torn looking. So some more collaging here with the dictionary page and the fabric, and then we got a couple little cards thrown in here. It says thank you. There's the backs. And again, we got some buttons on the front cover, and then a little bit of a collage here on the back cover with some more buttons and the fabrics and laces. And here we go into this one. So again, we got the book plate at the front, and then another little butterfly. You know what? This is another tuck spot here. I just didn't put anything in there. So you could do that. How about that instead? So here we have a Tim Holtz. Is that up or down? Tim Holtz journaling card. And then there's the back. I think I meant to have it like this. That's prettier. And then another Tim Holtz little vintage couple. Oh, so here's another one that I put together, and then I just thought that was sweet. It says my sweetheart, and I kind of imagine maybe these are this is the couple, and she's keeping a picture of him in his airplane in her journal. So there's that. Some more of that paper. And their baby. Oh, I love this page so much. It's so sweet. Look at that girl. Or boy. It might be a boy. I don't know. So some more of the lace and some collaging with a button there. And a little ticket. And the Tim Holtz flowers. And then we have some wallpaper. And then on the back of that, I've sewn on some coffee dyed lined paper to journal onto. So this is, I mentioned earlier, I have some old antique textbooks from elementary school. So this is a page from that. And then this must have been from the teacher writing notes to herself or something throughout. So there is, that's actually written on there from, I'm guessing, the teacher. So really sweet vintage ephemera. So here's some more fun ephemera here. And this is another double tuck spot, so did some collaging. So there's this tuck spot here, and then behind that is another one. So here's this tag. And then here's another one that I've put together. It's more collaging. I don't know, I was thinking, took a trip to Europe or something, and some postage from there sent back home. I don't know. you'll come up with these stories as you go through. So here's another fun number, and then another handmade tuck spot or journaling card. So I'm thinking it's probably on the same trip, and they're exploring. And then here's the back, so you can add some journaling there. Okay, so this is a book page, and this is a very delicate one from the Chicago Record Cookbook. This is actually the recipe. This is how they were written out in paragraph form, like this. I didn't do anything to these pages. Just know that they are going to be delicate, so you'll want to make sure and remember that when you're using this book. So in the middle here, this is the center of the first signature. I've got another collaged journaling card with some more of the Tim Holtz people, and then this is sewn on, but there's that. So this is from like 1890 something, I think. It's old. Like this is it's breaking almost, so it's really precious. So another secret writing spot for you with some buttons there. Love this paper. It's just gorgeous. And there's another journaling card. And then this is the back side of that textbook page. And there's this. So, home is the nicest word there is. Aw. This is some vintage music paper. And then another... Oh, how did I have that? Another little envelope that I've used the sewing pattern paper on. You could add a little flower or something there. It would be really sweet. And inside is another one of those coffee dyed receipt slips. And then this was just another little tag there. So I guess it's a moth. I was thinking a butterfly, but it's a moth. Okay, so here's some more, another collaged page. So did some collaging down here. We got some more Tim Holtz people. He's a hunk. And we got a tag here that's been coffee dyed. And then another collaged tag with another little number. So, sorry, hopefully I'm in frame. So some more Tim Holtz people. Says travelers and traveling experienced workmen. And behind that is a large journaling card, which I've added some buttons to. And then on the back side, there's a little bit of collaging there. That just tucks right in. And then here's another page from the Chicago Record Cookbook. You'll have a lot of fun. You should try out the recipe. It might be good, might not be so good. Some ledger paper, a couple of journaling cards, and then the other side of that cookbook, little butterfly. Loved how this turned out. This one's a little bit, it's not tissue paper, but it's a very thin paper. It's kind of like packing paper. So here we have another collaged page, another book plate there, and then some more of the Tim Holtz people. And in this second tuck spot back here, I have this from the scrapbook pad, and then another one of those handmade tags. And then we got some more collaging here. And here's a little notebook of the scraps for this book. The house that Jack built. So there's that. Also in here we have a number 4. And then the back side is fun too. And here's another journaling card. And then that's the end of the second signature, and then this is the third signature. So another collaged tuck spots area. Got a fun little journaling card here with a little sweetie on the back. Get back in there. And then we've got some of these cards here. And then another one that I've put together. This one reminds me of my grandma too. So, and then the back is just plain. So lots of writing space. This is, somebody spilled ink, and it turned out fabulous. It's really cool. So that's actually, yeah, that's the vintage antiquing of that one. You Are My Home. And then some more from that textbook. And here's a tag. I love this page of the tree. And then on the back side, I didn't do anything with this, but because I thought it would be cool if you wanted to put them throughout the book. There's sister, brother, father, and mother in this one. So I thought, you know, that'd be kind of a fun thing. Unfortunately, there was only one set of these. Otherwise, I would have put them with both books. So whoever gets this book is going to get those. So I guess if you want it, you better act fast. So we're going to start here with Hansel and Gretel Find a Friend. So yeah, some more of that textbook, and then reinforce the spine of that with some of that fabric washi tape. And then we got a couple little journaling cards here. Oops. And then the back page of that music book. And then here we have another collage. They're having some fun. And then inside that we've got a little tag that says hello. And the back page says You Are Home. And then here is a little booklet for this book. So inside we've got some papers, and that tucks right into this lace. It's a little bit stretchy. And then again, another cluster of buttons, and then this is just like a little ticket. Ah, doesn't want to come out. Oops, upside down. So here's that, and then that opens to be like this. This is not vintage. It's, I want to say 7 Gypsies. So I'll fix that later. You know what? I'll just do this here. Maybe. And that is the last book. So there you go. All 3 of these are going to be available in my Etsy shop, and I will put, all 4 of these are going to be available in my Etsy shop, and I will put the link in the description box below. I'm sorry for the super long video again, you guys. I wanted to get them all in. There was an awful lot to talk about and show you, as you could see. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, go ahead and click that subscribe button. All right, bye everybody.